Okay, welcome. We don't have to worry about round numbers this week, Keith. It's finals time. There's,
it just occurred to me, Chris, what are we doing from round 19?
But we had an absolute great finale to the year, mate. It was just spectacular. There was all these equations going on, and I think you've written it here in your article today. So, yeah, maybe if we just go through a couple of them, because we could have had different teams playing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Apart from the great finale, we've had a great start and we've had a great right through the year. You know, it was every week there was enormous changes in it, there were surprise results, and it was fantastic. Yeah, and it came down to Leongatha and Maffra got the last two spots, but they both got over the line by less than a goal, so we could very well have had two different sides fronting up this weekend in the elimination final.
Well, Maffra was only a point.
Yeah.
and Moe 4 points lost by. So, but anyway, it's a great finish, and now hopefully we get some good weather. Qualifying final. It's at Moe, and we've got Druin versus Sale, who Druin, by winning and Sale losing, Druin actually sneaked into second position.
Yeah, well, the only thing that could have changed for Druin at the weekend was whether they play Traralgon or Sale in the qualifying final. I think Traralgon, Druin, Sale, they've finished the top three. If you just look at the ladder, they've got a little margin to fourth and fifth. They locked in, double chances a couple of weeks away, a couple of weeks earlier, while the five others fought out the last two spots. But yeah, Druin and Sale, won each this year. Both their games, I think, have been rank up in the best 3 or 4 games I've seen for the year. Yeah, 2 Druin and Sale games, and I just think with 21 degrees and fine day forecast for Saturday, we should have an absolute ripper game.
Oh, look, I'm just looking forward to it so much. Both sides have got quality midfield. Both sides have got a great full forward at this stage. Druin's kicked 10 goals last week, but Matthew Ferguson's won the goal kicking for the year. So both sides at this point in time seem to have a solid defence, good midfielders and a good forward line. So yeah, on Moe's big round, it should be a rip snorter.
Yeah, I think the point that comes out, which you've hit on, whichever midfield takes control of this game, gives its forwards more opportunity. Well, that's the side that's probably going to win. And in the 2 games between Druin and Sale this year, that's been the case. Druin won well in the midfield against Sale at Sale early in the year, won the game, and vice versa at Druin 3 weeks ago.
It was Sale's midfield was absolutely sensational. So, some big names there. For Sale, obviously we've said Ferguson, Rod Love, he's a key. Shane Fife, who's come back this year, and obviously there's a few others there, but Sale's a very good side. Some whacker had tipped them to be unbeaten at the start of the year, but they still are a very good side.
Well, they are a good side, and it may have just been that you didn't give due regard to the quality of the other sides at that stage early in the year. But the only thing in going through the season's records over the last few days, Sale, they may be getting their best side back on the field, but they have a lot of guys who haven't had all that much football this year. Like 7, 8 games, etc. And they're in their best side as they're all up and going. Whereas I think Druin has had a lot more stable side. Had Adam Cook, who you mentioned with 10 goals last week, coming into the side 4 weeks ago was just added terrific value. Apart from anything else, I'm not quite sure who Sale's going to play on. If they put Jordan Descent on him, Jordan gets dragged deep, and that's a a really attacking option from centre half back that they don't have. I think he's probably the best guy to go to Cook. But then, you know, you've got a Chris Dunn who just sort of comes in from the half-forward flank and kicks 56 goals for the year, which and De Goya and Andrews on balls kick a few goals. I think we might have a few more options this time up forward than Sale.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be a crackerjack game, and I can't even tip who's going to win, to be honest with you. But who's your tip?
Apart from personal loyalties, I think Drew on us, like last year, has built itself well towards the finals. Sale must be sort of sitting back and wondering a bit about last week's loss to Traralgon. Not just that they lost, but we're never really in the game. And that's sort of a worry for them. I know they're not playing Traralgon this week, but obviously a lot of things didn't work.
Yeah, well, look, it's going to be a great game. Now, the next day, on the Sunday at Sale, we have the elimination final. The two clubs that sneaked in by 1 and 4 points, Leongatha Maffra, and this should be another great game.
Well, yeah, and having earlier sent to you my tips for the record this week at Maffra, but I can't think of any compelling reason why I should have picked Maffra. Maybe it's, they always seem to find something when it counts, but then if I look at Leongatha's record this year, they have had a really terrific season and could have got the double chance. They've lost a couple of games that they had won or should have won. I don't know, this is...
Well, I mean, Leongatha's beat, I know that they've beaten Geelong. They beat Sale up at Sale, I think. Did they? I'm not sure about
just a few weeks ago. Yeah, and they've beaten Traralgon earlier.
So they've beaten all the teams above them. I mean, the only thing that's happened is that they've lost games they shouldn't have lost, but they've definitely beaten the teams above them, so they've got to be a great chance. So I'm going to go for Leongatha. I think they just seem to have a little bit extra to me at the moment than what Maffra is. And again, because of Maffra's dominance over the last 9 or 10 years, we're a little bit fearful of tipping against Maffra. But at the same time, I think that, Leongatha at the moment seem to have the form, and I'll tip Leongatha to win this and go into the first semi.
Yeah, I think a few guys that have got under the guard a little bit at Leongatha as the guys around the midfield, Bo Vernon, Tom Marriott and Dylan Westaway, and Julian Stone on the wing, have really been very, very, very good for Leongatha without taking a lot of limelight. They're good players, they've done the job well. So again, another massively interesting game. Whether Maffra's just short trip down the road to Leongatha's long trip to Sale makes a difference, I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, obviously, you've mentioned a few there from Leongatha, but then Maffra had, Cole Porter's been in great sensational form. Gary Jones seems to do something magical. So, they have got some very good players as well. So, all in all, it should be another great final. And again, who are you going for on that one?
Well, I've gone for Maffra, but as I said, I can't find any compelling reason why I should have.
Okay, no worries. Well, anyway, that's it for the elimination and qualifying. And we'll be back next week previewing the first and second semi-finals in Gippsland.
Well, this is only the taste, so I'm sure another 3 weeks after this weekend, which will be fantastic too.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.